Hi everyone, I'm Dick Beardsley. Welcome to the fishing scene. Well folks, it's springtime, although this spring it sure hasn't felt like it. Early in April we got real warm weather, the water warmed up quickly, and then those fish moved in, the crappies that we're fishing for today and the sunfish moved into that real shallow water, and boy, the bite was great. Then all of a sudden it got real cold for about 2.5 weeks. Water temperatures dropped 10 to 12 degrees, and those fish moved back out into the deeper water. Then it warmed up, then it cooled down again. What we're doing today, folks, that water's warmed back up, it's right around 60 degrees, and so those crappies, most of the time now, will be back up in that shallow water. But if you can find areas like we're on today, as you can see, we're out here in the middle of the lake, but what we're fishing is the edge. I just had a little bump there. What we're doing here, folks, is we're fishing the edge of a cabbage bed. And the reason this is so good is there's real shallow water back this direction, and then there's an edge of the cabbage here, and then it drops off into real deep water. So they kind of got the best of both worlds. And most of the time people think, well, early spring, middle of the spring, you're going to find those crappies right up by shore. And a lot of times you will, up by shore, up in those little shallow bays that warm up real quickly, but you'll also find these fish out here this time of the year in those deeper areas off the edge of those weeds. The good thing here too is that you'll also find those fish in the summertime on these spots. What we're doing, I'm just using a light action 5.5 foot rod with 4-pound test and a 1/16 ounce Lindy little nipper jig with a small 1-inch tube. And what we're doing, we're just pitching it out there, right along the edge, letting it sink a little bit, and then just kind of a steady reel. Steady reel. You can pump it a little bit. And you want to work that all the way back to the boat. And a lot of times, those crappies won't hit that bait until they're right below the boat. It's almost like that jig is coming up out of the water, out of that water column, and those crappies are thinking, boy, if I don't catch it or get it now, it's gone. And then they'll come up right below the surface many times and grab that thing. Now you're going to be pulling through a little bit of cabbage, and when you do and you'll get hung up a little bit, just kind of shake your rod tip. And then when it works itself loose, let it fall back down. It's kind of like bass fishing in a way. When we're fishing tubes in the summertime, off that cabbage, same kind of thing, except we're using a lot smaller bait, obviously, than we would be if we're fishing for big bass. There's one right there below the boat. There, right below. I'll tell you what, folks, I was just about getting ready to bring that jig up out of the water, and that crappie bit. I'll just fling him in here. He's not a very big one, but I'll tell you what, I haven't had any fresh crappies yet this year, and I'm going to have me a meal tonight with my family, and we are going to enjoy. So we're going to put these in the live well. Yeah, nice fish, huh? Sure. Let me just drop them back in the live well here. There's one. That one hit a little further from the boat, but not real far. There's a crop. There we go. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Yeah. Get him up here. Come here. Another nice eating size crappie. They're hitting really light, folks. The water's still, pretty chilly, and so these fish will be a little bit lethargic. Yeah, nice eating size fish there. Nice crappie. I'm going to put him in the live well. It's time now for the fishing scene tip of the week. Hey folks, remember when you're fishing crappies or sunfish, they're smaller fish, so make sure you downsize. Today we're going to talk about monofilament line. Now, most folks use 6, 8, 10-pound monofilament for walleye fishing, but for sunfish, crappies, you definitely want to go a lot smaller. I usually spool up with 4-pound test, And sometimes when the bite is really finicky, 2-pound test will make a difference.
The Fishing Scene is sponsored by Rainbow Resort, Muscatel Dodge and Jeep Center, and DL RV and Marine.
Welcome back to the Fishing Scene, folks. Our weather conditions today, well, as you can see, we have calm winds. Water temperature is right around 59 degrees, so it has definitely come up over the last few days or so. Air temperature, we're sitting at about 68 to 70 degrees, and water clarity, I would say medium clarity. Yesterday in the area we had horrific winds all day long, so it's kind of churned things up a little bit. So overall, not too bad a day to be out here pursuing these crappies. And what we're doing is I'm using my Motor Guide bow mount trolling motor to just kind of work along the edge of that cabbage line. And sometimes what I'm doing, like this last cast, I pitched up actually right up on top where it's a lot shallower. And then the boat is out along the edge there. And when I get it out just a little bit more, I'll let that bugger, when that jig swims out here, I'll let it kind of sink down a little bit. And you can feel it, like as I'm doing right now, I can feel it kind of pulling through that cabbage. Okay, now I'm going to let it sink down a little bit. And a lot of times those fish will be right along that edge. Just like that one. Come on, buddy. He's pulling pretty good. I don't think he's huge, but come on. There he comes. There he comes. Yep. None of these fish are very big, folks, but this is kind of just the beginning of the spring crappie season, although it started, like I said, almost a month ago, but good eating size fish. And now, if we get some stability in the weather, I promise you this, the fishing will only get better, not just for crappies, but for the walleyes, northern pike, and then soon bass season will open, and then after that, muskie, and then, hey, summer's here and we're raring to go. Got a little loop in my line here. One thing that happens, folks, sometimes when you use this light line, and especially if it's windy, you'll get little loops in it when you try casting it. And when that happens, what you need to do is just keep pulling that line out from your spool until you get it to where that loop comes out, and then just hopefully you'll be able to get it straightened out without putting a big old bird's nest into it. Now, unlike walleye fishing, when we're fishing that jig pretty much right on the bottom, there's a fish right there. Oh, a little perch. Little perch. When we're fishing that jig right down there on the bottom, what we're doing here, we're not even close to the bottom. We're fishing in about actually about 12 foot of water in the deep spot, and we're floating that jig probably about 6 feet down. Cast her back out there. Give it another try. Missed one there. I was holding on to it and I missed him. Uh-oh. Little bird's nest, just like I was talking about. Get that out of there. And sometimes that loop will take a lot of line to get out of before you get to the very end. Let's see here. There we go. And then just close that bail up. Run it through your fingers, nice and tight. Just like this. There we go. There's one right there. Right there. He was sitting right there. As soon as I pushed that jig, after that line wrap, he was right there. Come on, crop. There we go. Come on. There we go. Nice little eating size crappie. These have all been males we've caught today. Get him back in the live well. There we go. Come on, buddy. That feels like a better one. Come on. Come on. There, oh, there's a nicer crappie. There's a nicer crappie. You see that old pink jig in his mouth? There we go. There we go. Nice fish, huh? Nice fish. We're gonna be even nicer in the frying pan tonight.
The fishing scene is sponsored by Rainbow Resort, Muscatel Dodge and Jeep Center, and DL RV and Marine.
Folks, sometimes when those fish will move up on top of the reeds, you gotta really be careful because these crappies, they'll spook real easily. And so it's best to kind of stay away and cast out and then work that lure along the edge of that reeds. Or I should say the cabbage down there. And again, work that jig all the way back to the boat. Oh, there's one right there. Kind of got down in that cabbage on me there. There he's coming up. When they get in that cabbage, folks, just kind of there he's coming up to the surface. Just kind of gently work them through there and kind of let them pull the way through there. If you just put a little light pressure on your rod tip and just kind of pull, there we go. Come on, buddy. I'm just gonna flip him up here. Again, these aren't huge crappies, but for eating size, boy, you can't beat them. And they're male crappies too that we're catching. These first few that we've caught have been male crappies, so that's even better. Put him back in the live well. Hey folks, when that rubber skirt or that plastic skirt that you're using slips down like this, couple things you need to do. First off, the knot on the jig head needs to be straight up horizontal on top of the jig. So what you do is just take that knot and slide it right back up. Then that jig will come horizontally through the water. Then the plastic here, you don't want it like that. It looks way, way too fake. So all you have to do is just slide it back up there like that. And on these small jigs, they don't have a little neck where they can grasp that rubber, so they're going to slide off on you a little bit every once in a while, especially if you catch a fish. And then you're set to go. And just make a long cast out there. Again, let it sink. And what we've been doing today is just kind of a slow, steady retrieve. And then I'll kind of lift my rod tip a little bit, swim it, let it sink back down. Nice, slow retrieve. Swim it, and when I say swim it, that's when I bring my rod tip up and it makes that jig kind of swim or flutter through the water. Then I drop the rod tip back down and reel a few times. Ooh, just missed one. All of a sudden I can see my line start to go. There, he's back right there. There he is. There, he came back for it. There we go. Yeah, this is a better crappie. Oh yeah, I see him. Nice fish. Nice crappie. Ah, nice fish. Come on, oh yeah, come on. Come on, buddy. Come here. I'm gonna reach down and there we go. There's a nice crappie, huh? Yeah, you know, about a 3/4 pound. Again, nothing huge, but those bigger fish now, these smaller fish have just started coming in to the shallower water, and it won't be long if we can have some consistent weather without thunderstorms and high winds and sunny temperatures warming things up. These bigger fish will start moving in. So yeah, that's a nice eating size fish. That's about as big of a fish as I usually keep to eat for crappies. Any of the other ones that are bigger than that, they go back. Hey folks, I'm telling you, this is one of these kind of afternoons that come along not very often, especially this spring. I mean, there's barely a breath of wind. You know, the temperature's about 70, 72 degrees, a little bit of, you know, cloud cover, partly cloudy skies. And the way we've been just getting hammered by rain and especially wind this spring so far, it's really, I'll tell you what, you get a day like this and it really feels good just to be out here. I'll tell you what, catching fish today is just a bonus. It's just a pleasure to be out here. Absolute pleasure. Now this wouldn't be a very good day really probably for walleye fishing just because there's absolutely no chop at all. However, there's a little bit of cloud cover, so that would help a little bit, but I'll tell you what, just getting out here, man, I'm telling you, I'm psyched up. Now sometimes what I'll do also when I flip it out there, I'll let it hit, sink a little bit, and then I'll just start twitching my rod tip. Instead of raising it and just kind of floating it, I'll twitch it just like that. There we go. Boy, that's what got him to bite that time. Come on, boy, I tell you what, I was just fluttering that jig, really fluttering it, and bam, he come right up to the right towards the top and grab that puppy. Yeah, come on, buddy. Come on, just flip him in here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, look at that, folks, huh? Pretty fish, aren't they? You while up that jig pretty good. Now, sometimes if the fish are real finicky, what I'll do is, I've got a 16th ounce jig here. I'll go to a 1/32 ounce jig and use a real small split shot to help get it down there. Our photo of the week is from Jan Fuller of Fargo, North Dakota with a dandy 23-inch largemouth bass. If you'd like to see your photo on the fishing scene, send your photo along with a self-addressed stamped envelope to TV3, Attention Fishing Scene, 808 Washington Avenue, Suite 11, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota 56501. Or email it to tv3@arvig.net, subject photo of the week.
The Fishing Scene is sponsored by Rainbow Resort, Muscatel Dodge and Jeep Center, and DL RV and Marine.
There's one. All right. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. Kind of getting in that cabbage on me. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, that's a nicer fish. That's a nicer crappie, huh? Yeah, there's a little better crappie. I'm going to reach down and lip him. Because with this light line, that little jig, come here, buddy. Come here. There we go. Yeah, there's a nice fish, huh? There's a nice fish, about a pound. Nice fish, female. She's got some eggs in her. And this gal, she is going back. So she can, boy, I hooked her good. She's going back so I can, hopefully she can reproduce some little fish that'll grow big like her. I'll tell you what, folks, these are the kind of fish that I know you get on a bite and you'll get into some bigger fish, but really, I'm dead serious when I say put them back. I mean, there's plenty of smaller ones like some of those other ones we've been catching that are much better eaters, and give those bigger fish a chance to spawn and to go on, and that way, by doing that, by letting some of those big fish like that go, or those bigger fish, whether it be crappies, sunfish, walleyes, northern pike, whatever it is, it's going to make the fishery that much better. And I know sometimes it's hard to do that, to let a fish like that go, but it's really in the best interest of the fish and the fishery, and that's what the camera's for. Okay, we're ready to go. That last one hit it pretty quick. There's one. Not quite as quick, but just about. We're on him now, folks. I think we're on him now. Come on, there he comes. There he comes. There, you can see him there. Tighten up my drag a little bit. Come on, not like that last one, but I'm gonna just flip him in here. Not like that last one. What a good eater. All right. Hey folks, when you're fishing these crappies, and like today we've got the sun coming in, the sun going out, a lot of times if that sun comes out and it stays out for more than just a couple of minutes, those fish, if all of a sudden they're not up in that shallower water, try out a little bit deeper, because a lot of times those fish, if it gets real bright and sunny, and especially when you've got calm conditions like we have today, those fish might move out a little bit deeper. They might not have quit biting like if they were up in the shallow water, they just might have moved out just a tad deeper. So don't give up on that. That's what I'm trying here right now. With that sun's been shining for just a little bit, few minutes now, and it doesn't take long. On a calm day, those fish will move out. There's one right there. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. This doesn't seem like a very big one. Oh, he got hooked down in the weeds a little bit. He felt bigger. He's a little guy here. We'll just flip him in the boat. Get him back in the water. Come here, buddy. There he is. Oh, we're on him now, folks, I'm telling you. They're not very big, but we're on them. It's a lot of fun. Oh, he's not too bad. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right. There we go. Hey, folks, we're having fun. You can have fun crappie fishing, too. Don't forget about fishing a little bit deeper, even in the early spring. And please remember to practice selective harvesting. By doing so, we'll continue to have great fishing for years to come. For my camera gal, Raina Benson, I'm Dick Beardsley. Thanks for joining me today here on the Fishing Scene. I'll see you out here on the water.
We'd like to thank the sponsors that make this show possible. And don't forget to check out our website at fishingscene.com.